Hello everybody. This is Alyssa from Ink Arts and Crafts, and today we are here going to take a look at updating my logbook. I have not updated my logbook at all this month, so I need to register and log all of the kits that I have finished, which this is what the app that I use called Timelines that I use to document the time that it takes me to complete each of my canvases. So we're going to work on we're going to take a look at this. I'm going to apologize in advance. Sushi is sitting right there, and she's in a very attention-seeking mood. So if she starts rubbing all over the camera, I'm going to apologize in advance for that. Because yes. So that's what we kind of need to start off with right here. And that's where the first one that I finished, you can see we have Year of the Snake, which I'm going to come in over actually to my Gems Flow, and I need to go with my, yeah, so Duck Bath has now been finished, so I need to put that on here, because I was waiting on the last of the color of the sparklers that I needed, and I just got that. So Duck Bath has now been finished, so now I can go to my no, wrong. I'm still getting used to the new update to Gems Flow. It's taking me a minute to get used to. Wait, I want finished after the first, so that's what we want. So these are going to be the canvases that I've worked on and finished this month. 7 of them are diamond paintings, and then the last one that is a cross stitch, actual cross stitch. So that's one that we're not going to worry about logging into here because I don't track that in here. So now we're going to go ahead and go for Year of the Snake, and I number them because that puts them in order when we're looking like this. So Year of the Snake was the first one. So we're going to go ahead and fill this out. We have Year of the Snake, and this is by the artist Christina Yan. So we're going to put that right here. And this one, we have our details for this. This comes to us from Diamond Art Club. It was a round drill canvas, and the canvas was 55.6 by 70.7. So we're going to go ahead and input that in. It had 60 colors. And of those colors, we had 2 AB and 2 fairy dust, and the total drills were 51,914. And then I also put in these other details where I put when I ordered it, which was timeline. The time, I think this has not fully updated because the date ordered was 2025. So 18 January 25, received 25 January 25. I started it on 28 December 25, and I finished it on 3 January 26. I do mark the cost right over there, and that's one that was $46.74. And I'm going to put my time right here and then my thoughts for this canvas right there. So we're going to do this for all of the rest of the canvases, and then we'll go in and we'll select the times, but I'm going to at least log these other details first and go from there. So that was the first one, Year of the Snake, and then I did the mini dazzles next. So we're going to come over here. This was Merry Grinchmas. And we're going to log that information. So I know this is not like the order that I normally do things in. So, you know, we're just making do with doing things this way. So this is Diamond Art Club. It is squares, and they are 10.2 by 15.2 centimeter. There were 16 colors, and of those colors we had 3 AB, 1 electro, and 12 fairy dust, and only a total of 5,771 drills. So this one was a new purchase. I got it in December. And then I received it also in December. This is one that I got and I worked on pretty quickly after getting. I don't normally do that where I work on them that quickly after getting them. But this one was when I started it in January because it was just too cute. I couldn't resist. I had to finish it. Even I could have saved it for like another year, but I did not. I was like, could have you done it later this year? But nope. I did use points for this, so it all told ended up costing me like $2. So I didn't really have to worry about a lot with that. And then my thoughts are right there. And we'll go over and we'll log the additional information over into here. So that was our second one. The third thing that I finished, I want to say the third one was, yeah, that was my Flower Dragon Meadow. I always get the, like, say it wrong. Flower Dragon Meadow Sal, and that's from Flossy Fox Shop. Because I always put the artist over there in case you wondered. And then this was one that I got from Jada Gem Shop. It was 44 by 0.3 by 46.3. I know I did that one a little backwards of them. What I should have. Squares. Had 33 colors. And I want to say it ended up having a couple glimmer drills in it. I do not remember off the top of my head how many glimmers I had on it. So I want to say that there were 2 to 3 fairy dust or glimmers or fairy dust, whatever you want to call them. And I don't have the total for that. So this one, let's see, ordered it 24th of June. That was last year because this was a last year beginning project. Received it in September. Started it in September. And I finished it in January because it's a project that's supposed to be long term. So there's that. Oh, I was supposed to do the total cost. Did not do total cost. Oh well. And the time, and then thoughts. I already wrote down, so we're going to leave it as is. So now we're going to go into the next one, which is Naughty Space Void. And we're going to log this one, which is right here. All right, so now we have Naughty Space Void. And this is the slow part, is doing this. I do try to do it like right when I finish canvases, but I did not get that done this month. I just kind of like let them sit there. I at least put the stickers in my notebook, but I didn't actually write anything on my notebook. This one was a square. I did a lot of squares this month, like a lot more than I normally do. So this was one that, yeah, it was definitely one there. And this one was charted with 2 AB and 3 fairy dust. And I added a crap ton of additional specials to it. So yeah. What year did I get this one in? Because that's the one that, oh wait, does it actually say? No, it just said May 25. So I think my phone does tell me without having to look at this. So that was 25 May of 24. Received it 21 June of 24. Started in December of 25, and I finished it in January. So this is one that I worked on with C over at Sea of Diamonds. So we're going to put the time, we're going to put the thoughts, and the cost for this one was $62.10. There we go. Got to remember to do the total cost, which includes the shipping and everything else. So now we're going to go to our next one, which is a Flossy from Jada Gem Shop. These are ones that are great as like little snacks in between stuff. So this one had a long name. It was like Bats and Bells, Teas and Spells. So we're going to go ahead and do that. This was Flossy Fox Shop over here. I know, super thrilling to do this, but yeah, I figure give this a little thing. I got that one from Jada Gem Shop, and it was square drills. I have a handful of the small ones that are not squares of these Flossies that are rounds, but I don't mind doing these ones in squares. It doesn't bother me. 23 colors, and of those 23 colors, I had 2 crystal and 4 fairy dust, and then 1 luminescent for this one here. And we ordered that one. I want to say that this is one that I got in, let's see, the cost, we'll say ordered, which was June of 25. Okay, 1 June 25. Received. Okay, this is one that I actually got at the retreat, so I picked it up in person. So I didn't have to worry about any shipping or wait time or anything like that. So I started that one on the 18th of January, and I finished it on the 18th of January. I usually do these ones in like one day. So we're going to put that right there. And then we're going to say, okay, this is our cost over here, $31.99. We have the time slot, and then we have the slot for my thoughts right there. Like I said, normally I have that pre-populated ahead of time, but I failed to do that this time around. So next up we have another Jaded Gem Shop. This was like a pretty Jaded Gem Shop heavy month apparently. So yeah, that was another Jaded Gem Shop. This is called Year of the Tiger. I've literally had this one kitted up for months, or like in my I want to work on it for months, and I just finally got around to it. So it didn't take that long to do either. There. And this is Jaded Gem Shop. I want to say it was rounds, and it was a 50 by 50. We had 55 colors. And I did have it charted with ABs, so I had 3 ABs added. I recommend adding your own special drills, though, if you're getting the hybrid charting, just because the AB placement, at least for the ABs, I usually have only really charted ABs, but the AB placement tends to be a little, like, I'm not a big fan of where the specials are placed when I order them with specials charted in from Jaded Gem Shop. I prefer to do that work myself. This is actually one of, like, my older canvases, one of my first few orders from Jaded Gem Shop, because I ordered that one in August of 2023. So it was kind of cool getting to work on an older canvas and getting that knocked out and finished. I started that one in January, finished that one in January as well. Only took me, like, I started on the 21st and I finished on the 25th, so it was a pretty quick finish. So that one cost was, the Jaded Gem Shop ones tend to be a little bit pricier. I try to I try to purchase them. They are from, you know, small shop. So I do try to order like my small shop ones like that when there are discount codes available, because that definitely helps. And then my last finish of these to put in here is going to be Duck Bath. So that one was the one I just finished today. And that one is Art by Julia. And it is from Diamond Art Club. It is squares, and it is a 65 by 80.9, 30 colors. So it was lots of color blocking, which was heavenly. And of those 30 colors, it came with 1 AB and 5 fairy dust. And then we were at 84,000. So it was a little smaller total than, a little bit bigger than Naughty Space Void. So that one was one that I got in when it restocked. That was last year that it restocked, so it was 25, which was like, oh, I waited so long to get it because I wanted it for Black Friday, but it sold out before I could get it, and it just took so long to get in, and I did this one for the Art by Julia event. So now that I have logged all of these like this, typically right before I do a event canvas type, or right before I do like my year in the review or anything like that, then I like to go in and I have to log, like ideally I do this right as I finish the canvas, and then I get to go in and do the rest of my logging, and this will be where it gets a little bit more interesting. So now I'm going to come over to my timeline, and I need to go to here, and I have it deselected, so now I can come over and select which one I want, which the first one I need to select is Year of the Snake. And then we're gonna come in here and we're gonna go like this and say, okay, hey, what did I work on for Year of the Snake? And I wanna change the viewpoint for it. And I need it to be all of it for timeline for this. No, come on. Why are you not letting me do all of the time points for it? Because it literally... Okay, so it looks like it's making me add it together. I'm like, I need an easy way of finding like the total. Let me see if that one will let me do it. I want the total of all of it together. So let's see. Wait, no, I think that's the round one, but it's not letting me select I'm still learning this app, so this will be the interesting thing for like the whips that extend beyond. Let me see if it'll do it if I do like this. Okay, there we go. I just had to zoom out a little bit further. So it took me 18 hours and 31 minutes. So we're going to log that. And I will wait for my thoughts. But now this is where I can come in and I can put in the pictures and the stickers and everything. So this is how I prep my logbooks. So I figured I'd give you guys like view of how I do all of that leading up to, you know, my actual year in the review videos. So you're kind of seeing it backwards from the actual year in review. And then if I do enhancements, this is from my enhancements. So I write them out on this little piece of paper. So it showcases everything that I enhanced on this canvas. And then I go ahead and I tape this into my logbook as well, saying, okay, this is what I actually enhanced on it. So now we get to do the other portion of it, which is basically saying that this was for the month, which would be January, which normally I just write January. This was my first finish. So the year, it was my first finish. In total, this is finish number 178. So that's kind of how I like to log this for this information, in case you wondered how I like keep up with all of it. And then this one, I am going to mark it right here. This is B14 because it's mini dazzle, because that one doesn't count as like the regular finish. So now I need to come over here and we're going to deselect Year of the Snake. And we're going to take a look at Grinchmas and see how long it took me to complete Grinchmas. And we're going to come back over here. So I figured that one would be a quick one. This was 2 hours and 35 minutes for Grinchmas. And now we have to put our sticker in, which this is always the fun part because these are stickers inside stickers. So it's always a little tricky to make sure you get this done properly. Whoop. All right. Now I have to try to do it. Come on, gimme. It's not wanting to give me the edge of the sticker. There we go. So I found that kind of peeling the plastic or the backing off like this helps me to not lose the individual small stickers that are in here, because each one of those images is its own little sticker. And then I like to, and I just pop it right down in here. Boop, just like that. And this one was B14, so I just marked that that was my 14th mini dazzle that I have completed. That's all I put for that. I'll wait on my thoughts because, and I'll write those down, and then, you know, but I figure you guys have already seen me go over these finishes. So now we're just kind of giving us a little bit of the process. So next up we have the Flower Dragon Meadow Sal, which we're going to go ahead and come up here and check that one. So deselect there and select this one. So now we can go ahead and change it to this, and you can see the total time that it took me to do this one, which I don't have a sticker for, was 24 hours and 18 minutes. I can print a sticker. I'd have to use, like, I have a little photo printer, but it connects to my phone, which won't really help us here. So until then, I will leave it unprinted. But now we can say, okay, this is for January. This was finish number 2. For the year, it is also finish number 2. And for total, it is number, I think it was what, 179. So boom, there we go. So we have that logged, and now we can move on to Space Void. Let's go ahead and change over. And this is like me being extra. Like, you definitely do not need to track your canvases and your work like I do. This is just how I like to do it. So it did take me a little longer to do Space Void, but Space Void had a lot of like color blocking, so it wasn't too bad. So this one is one that has most definitely, it was that slightly older style where you had the two stickers from Diamond Art Club, because as you can see we have there, and then it had like the old school version because it was before they switched to the new boxes. So we have the 2 stickers right there, and I just put them both in my logbook. And then this is my enhancements that I did, which are going to take up like the entire page basically. So what I will do is, because I like to be able to like see everything, and that was the end of, this is why I grabbed this washi, because it was basically the end of the washi roll. So now I'm going to come right here, and we're going to say this, and it's going to go into the crease of the book a little bit. So we're going to push this in as it just jumps all over the place, because I want it to try to stay right there. So we're going to pop that in right there. And then I'll close the page on it. So as we can see, I already logged that this was, oh, I have not already logged this one. So this was January, it is number 3. The year, it is number 3. In total, this one was number 180. And I did do that one, like I said, as a like I worked on it together with completed Buddy DP with C for Sea of Diamonds. So we worked on that together. So now we have Bats and Bells, Tea and Spells, this cute little one, which I did not actually do any enhancements on. And sometimes it's nice to not have to enhance anything. So I like to kind of mix it up because, you know, I'll do a couple like really major enhancements. And then the next kit that I work on, I will not do any enhancements on because I'll need a little bit of a break. So for the month, which was January, I keep wanting to write month instead of this. This was number 4. For the year, this was number 4. In total, this one was 181. So now let's get the time for this one here. And boom. What's kind of cool is you can see how many different sessions it took me to complete these. When I look at them, I'll pull it up so you get a better look at this. This one took me 2 hours and 36 minutes, so it was a quick finish. That's why I like those little quick snacky ones. So now we have another Jaded Gem Shop. Let's go ahead and flop over here. So I archive them as I finish them. This one is Year of the Tiger, which, and then I'm just going to change that view. So it didn't take me too long, 14 hours and 32 minutes. And this one was a beautiful one. I was super happy to do it. I think I had originally wanted to try to do this last year during my my Lunar New Year event, which has officially started now. So if you would like to participate, go check out the event video for it. So for January, this was finish number 5. I keep wanting to write total. For the year, it was finish number 5. And for total, it was finish number, I think, 182? I want to say 182, yes. And we did do some enhancements for this one, which we have right here, which I have another strip of basically empty washi tape. So when my rolls of washi tape are almost empty like this, that's when I use them to tape things into the logbook. So we're going to go ahead and pop that right there. So now I have that in there, and then it's just a matter of, I only tape on one side with these, so that way I can flip up and see the additional details I wrote there. So now our last finish of the year, and then I'll go over a little bit and explain this book to you guys so you guys can see a little bit about the book. So this one took me a little longer, 36, but definitely very highly color blocky, so it wasn't atrociously long. And I could have finished that one a lot quicker if it hadn't been for how many like enhancements I added to it, which you'll see in a minute how many enhancements I added. This one, the perforation wasn't very good there. All right, so again, this one, the newer style like this. And with the newer style, I don't do the one that has I don't usually add this sticker with the details on it because I have all that information over here. And I like my logbook to look uniform, so I leave it like that. And then we're gonna go ahead and pop our little duck bath with our, see, now I've completely used up a couple rolls of washi. So we're going to go ahead and pop it right here. Good, so it's still on that page. And then this one, we're going to say January. This one was number 6. For the year, this one was number 6. In total, it was 183. Which if I move over, of course it's not going to let me do that when I want to. And I can verify, yep, that was finish number 183. Because like I said, I don't do my cross stitch completions in my logbook like this. So now that I've done that, let me go ahead and explain. We still got more that we're going to do in here, but I want to explain a little bit about this app. So this app right here, this is the Timelines app, which is what I use. What you can do when you want to add something to it, these are all of the kits that are either whips or I have just now kitted up. So my current whips on here, you can see I have Mountain Temple, I have Witchy Stitcher Conversion, which is the one under my table. I have Totem Phoenix, which I finished a tiny bit of, and then I was like, this is not enjoyable. I don't like this canvas. I'm putting it away for now. And decided to move on to decided to start the Kit Up Palooza and kit up all of these other kits. I do put my cross stitch projects on here, so that's why you see I've got the Buddha bookmark on here, and then my cross stitch cat stitch along, which is a new one I just started. So then the Kit Up Palooza that I did was all of these kits right here. So I have this one, which is some Pretty Little Gems, and then I have Katana, Cherry Blossom Pagoda, which is a Make Market, Kitsune Mask, which is from Same in Japan, Festival of Ribbons, it's an Old Lazy River Crafts. Fisherman's Village is an Andreas Rocha canvas from Shimmering Canvases. Then we have another Diamond Art Club, Jaded Gem Shop, Jaded Gem Shop. This is Oraloa. These are both from Jaded Gem Shop. I'm going to be doing a project with those. And then this is another Jaded Gem Shop. So apparently I have a lot of Jaded Gem Shops I'm going to be working on this month, which is what you can see. So when you get this app and you want to add like projects you want to add for timing, that's when you add with the little plus mark and you just type the name of whatever the canvas is that you want to do. I'm not going to because I'm not saving it. So that means that now I can come over here on my watch, and you can see I can select and I can pick which one of the ones I want to track. So it's literally right there, and it goes in that order, and I can pick on whatever canvas I want to work on based off of this right here. So that's why I like it so much to be able to have that where it's right on my wrist. The events, they do go, this shows you the timeline of like every time you stop and start the timer, it does this right here. But this portion only showcases, it basically, yeah, let me do it this way and see if that helps. Yes, so I had to change it because it defaults to only showing active events. And once I archive a kit, so once I finish something, I archive it. And this is a way, which that's something that I do over here, where I long press on it, or where I can long press on that, and then I can click the archive button. And then in the settings, I changed it so that my archives show up on the timeline over here. So if I click all of the canvases, this is everything that I've worked on like all along, which really, since I started logging in here, which was really only 2025, like towards the end of the year, you can see where I actually started logging. Those are a couple whips that I have, but I actually started logging in like that November is when I started using this app, and it showcases everything, all of these kits right up here that I have used in that, worked on in that month, and how long it has taken me. So the one that takes the most time, this one right here, this is actually Duck Bath, is the thing that took the longest in that that time frame. There, as you can see. And then next up was Naughty Space Void. And then we've got some of the other ones that you'll see in there as well, where you've got, you know, a little of everything when we're logging our stuff. But when I click on this, you can see how it's now selected everything that I've worked on. Though realistically, I want to say that the one that has taken me the longest, I have not actually finished it yet. But the thing that's taken me the longest is actually this right here. And you can see if I select on that one, let me change out my timeline for it and go and see. You can see it's taken me like 43 hours and 57 minutes to work on this one all told. But that's because it's a cross stitch. So it took a lot longer than doing the diamond painting version. Not horrendously though. But anyways, we're going to go back to selecting all of them so you can kind of see. And usually what I do is I'll say, okay, I finished this. Typically, I don't carry over a ton of whips, so it's a little bit easier. This one was a little weird this year because we're converting from last year to this year, and I have to zoom really far out. So now as we look into January, you can see these are all of my January things that I've worked on, and I have it set so I can see everything, but you can then deselect. And you see these ones that have like the little file folder next to them, those are all of my completions since I started using this app. So you can see how they all fit right over there. And if I still want to see the data for it, I have it where I can look on here and see it. I can say, how long did it take me to do this project? And I can look at it and I can be like, okay, and then down here you have different ways. So this one I look at here, you can see, okay, that's how long it took me to work on that project. But now if I go back to all of them, you can see it like this. But then if I want to change the view, I can look at it like that, which is just the triangles, which are kind of like annoying. Or I come over and I look at it like this as a bar graph, and it shows you like, okay, you can see, okay, this is what I spent most of my time on this month. So you can see here and you can look at it and be like, okay, this one took me, this is the breakdown times for everything. And what was it that you worked on? You can kind of like zoom it in a little bit more. You can go down to the individual day and you can kind of track how much you've worked on that over each day. And you can kind of see how those colors ring along. So like this one that I took, like the 2 hours and 34, that's Mountain Temple. So you can get a lot of the details just by clicking on it. And you can see, okay, this one I was working on was Duck Bath. So you can see I started Duck Bath pretty early, and I worked on Duck Bath right through there, and then I worked on it here, and then this one, you can see here, still the Duck Bath for January 18th. So I kind of worked on it for a while, and then I worked on a couple other kits in between, which is what you're seeing there, which was mostly I did a little bit on my conversion, and then I also worked on Naughty Space Void, and that's what the orange one was. So you can see it's very color coded. And then I did Duck Bath here, and then I ran out of drills and ordered more drills. I actually ordered them there, but they just came today. I'm filming this on the 31st. So today it took me like an hour to add all of those special drills in, and now Duck Bath is officially complete. I did not actually diamond paint. This is really cool to see because you can see how much time I've spent diamond painting, each day potentially. I average about, I basically average, if we're going by day, like 3 hours and 47 minutes roughly. It's like you can figure about 3:45-ish depending on the week, is how much I average per day in my diamond paintings. I did not do any diamond painting, as you can see, Monday or Tuesday, because that was where I finished something, so then I kit stuff down. This was my finish was, I spent like less than an hour working on Totem Phoenix and was like, nope, not doing this, and decided to kit stuff down. So I spent the next couple days kitting down all of those previous 2 months finishes, and then kitting up all of the kits that I just showed you that are right here. So basically from the Japan minis down, I think I ended up kitting up 13 things. So that's what that looks like. And you can actually set goals. One of my goals is actually to work on my Witchy Stitcher conversion for an hour a week. I have not actually met that goal. I've not been working on it, but that's something that you can do. So this is an app that I absolutely love. It might be something that you have to pay for, but I do not remember off the top of my head, but it's called Timelines. And I find it super, super like worth it. Even if I did have to buy it, I think I might have, but it was there. I think there's a free version of it. I do not remember off the top of my head, but totally worth it. So now that we've finished with that, we're going to move the iPad out of the way, and we're going to get all the cat fluff out, and we're going to take a look and fill out the rest of my logbook here. So we talked about the logbook initially. So now we're looking at it, and my goals are to get my stash below 350 with 325 as a stretch goal. I want to complete the scavenger hunt canvases, which you'll see in here. I want to complete my deserted island tag canvases, also in here. And I want to work on 25 kits from 2023. And then what I want to do is take a hard look at the hoard and remove things that don't bring me joy and I don't see myself completing, which I've been working on that, and I have removed things. And then I also kind of like planned out the event canvases that I really wanted to work on this year. So we I haven't decided. I need to decide how I want to fill this portion out for my 2026 finishes and be like, okay, which, I think I was going to do shop for this one. So I need to log with the ones that I have completed now. I need to grab some colors, and we're going to fill this out with the shops that we did. So that way we have that logged. So I'm going to grab some colors, and we're going to do that. So I've got some markers that I'm just going to grab these markers. I think they're acrylic markers. We're just going to grab them and see. I have not actually worked with these ones really much. I got these to work on painting some things. So we're just going to go with, probably go in an easy order for stuff to see what we have. But these are Ohuhu acrylic markers that I bought actually to work on my to basically paint my cover minders. But we're going to use this right in here, and we're going to start, just kind of go from the top down. So first up, my first finish of the month, which is right here. This was a Diamond Art Club. So we're going to come in here, and we're going to basically have to fill it out and say this was Diamond Art Club. I have not used these before, so we get to hydrate the markers a little bit. So this is the real time of everything as I load the color into my marker. But now that I'm doing this, I could actually paint some cover minders. So you just have to do this until the color starts to bleed down when it's your first time working with them. You can see it's starting to come down because these are basically like paint markers. I should probably be picking a different marker that doesn't take time to dry, but it is what it is. I already pulled these out, and they were the easiest accessible of my markers. Which actually I may just say, nope, we're not going to deal with that hassle, and we're going to go with easier markers to do that I don't have to load every single marker, because that's going to be a pain to have to hydrate every single marker that I want to use for this. So we're going to grab some different ones. All right, so we're going to go ahead and color this in. So I just grabbed a thing of markers here. I think these ones are some Staedtler double-ended fiber tip pens. And I'm going to grab some colors from these and see which ones I want to use. Let's see. And I'll probably keep the ones that I'm going to want to use a little separated from the others. So we're going to go with, first up, right here. Let's see what we got. I should probably use the other ones. But these will be a nice lightweight marker to basically say, yep, this is a Diamond Art Club. And I'm going to, I need to do a little bit of like a color swatch right there. That's going to be our Diamond Art Club. Let me write right here, DAC. And let's put the size. That kind of sounds like something fun to do. Let's put the size of the canvas in there as well. So this one was 55 by 6 by 70.7. 55.6 by 70.7 for the first one. Next up, so this will be kind of a way to like log everything. I'm not logging my mini dazzles into there because I keep those, I don't count them as my total finishes. It's just how my brain has. This one was a conversion, but I did purchase it from Jaded Gem Shop. So this one was a 44 by 46. We're just going to round it down, 44 by 46. And this one is going to be Jaded Gem Shop. So let me pick a color for that. We're going to go with this color here. And I don't like that side. I think this is why I didn't really care for these pens, because I didn't like the tips as much. Because, I mean, you've got this weird big tip. So I haven't really used these pens because I'm not a fan of their tips. So we're going to say, okay, there's our 44 by 46. And this one is Jaded Gem Shop. So there's our second color. And next up, we had another Diamond Art Club. So we can go ahead and let's see what our size was for this one, 60 by 76. And we're going to go back to this lovely color right here. So this is kind of like the fun thing. I've never really done all of this after, you know, doing a canvas, but you know, this year I am. We'll see how long I keep up with it. So that was another Diamond Art Club. So now let's see what finish number 4 was. Another Jaded Gem Shop, which is going to be back to the green. And I'll have 6 total that I've completed. So this will be kind of a cool way to see what shops I've worked on. And this one was a 19 by 20. 19 by 20 for that one. And then next up was another Jaded Gem Shop. And then after that is another Diamond Art Club. So this one is 50 by 50. I know, baby cat. You're cute. She's like, you opened the closet door and then closed it. Why did you not let me in? So we have a Jaded Gem Shop for this next one right here. Really? I hear your pippy little self, Sue. I did not do good coloring in the block on that one because these weird shaped markers. And then we have another Diamond Art Club right here. Boop, 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 boop. Boom. All right. So we have completed, so this gives us, I'm going to kind of write in here, this is going to be January. So we have 6 completions for the month of January, which, because when I'm talking about though, I want my stash to be below 350. That is my actual diamond paintings, not including the mini canvases. Because that's, I think I have like 20 something, I have like 25, I think, mini canvases. So we're not counting those into this, like, tally of things. I need to move a couple pens over because I want to track them that I did them like this. This is like weird. So this is the first two colors that I used. We're going to put right there. And so that way we've got it logged. All right. So now we can go to the next thing that I logged, which is my 2025 scavenger hunt. So Year of the Tiger was one that I actually picked out for the scavenger hunt, and that was to do jewelry because it does have jewelry on it, and we completed that one. Did I complete any other ones? So we've got The Apprentice, Fancy Flowers, Fiesta Chic, which I'm destashing, so it'll be this one instead. Koi Pond, Aromatic Succulents, Moon, Floating Dream, Miss Rouge, Creature, Seafoam. No, so I only finished one from there. But now on my Deserted Island tag, did I work on anything from that? So we have Away From It All, Neko Mart, Dragon Spirit, Dream, Leviathan, Sakura, Mooted Sounds, Hybrid Edo, Heaven's Gate, Fushimi Inari. No, I did not do any of these ones, but I did actually kit up Fushimi Inari, so that one has been kit up now. And I just got the specials drill. No, not for that one, for a different one. All right, so now we're going to look here and see if anything on here, which I don't think any of them on here are from my, the ones that I just completed, because I think I waited. But actually what's really cool is I just kit up Festival of Ribbons, Fisherman's Village. So that's 2 so far, 3 Kiki's Flight. I also kit up, so that's 3 that I've kit up. And then I also did 4 with Unmasked. So that's 4 of my Refresh the Stash canvases from 2023 that I have kit up already. So I'm excited about that. You can see I did add Year of the Snake to my alphabet challenge. So now we're going to look at the rest of my kits and see if I can fit them onto the alphabet. So but not Merry Grinchmas. So, and we're not going to do the Sal. That's a little different. Naughty Space Voice. We can log that under N. Naughty space void. All right, and then we also have bats and bells, teas and spells. We can put that one here. Bats and bells, teas and spells. So log that one like that. And then we have Year of the Tiger, which I already have a Y, so that one doesn't count. And then we have Duck Bath. So that's a D for right there for Duck Bath. So pretty cool that I can already say that I've now got 4 kits done for my alphabet challenge for that. And now we're going to roll over into January. So basically when we look at the number that, I don't know why I did it like that. That's weird that I did it like that. But anyways, I started with 425 total items, I want to say. And when I wrote this out, maybe that number might be off. But I kind of wanted to say, okay, how many rounds and how many squares did I complete? What companies did I work on? So we know that I worked on Jaded Gem Shop and Diamond Art Club. Those are the 2 companies that I actually worked on for January. So I started the month. I think this is, oh, okay, I was trying to think what I was going to put numbers wise up here. How many did I finish? I finished 6 this month. And then I'm going to put /1 because of the mini dazzle. So that's going to be the total that I did. So now I'm going to come over here to my gems flow, and we're going to look at how many actual whips I have with my gems flow. So we need to go to my actual carcass. Don't knock things over, brat child. She's like, but mom. So we're going to do started and our, started is what I want for this one. So we're going to take a look at this, and you can see technically not all of these are whips, because again, I'm not counting these 2 as cross stitches. So my actual whips that I have, I did start this one already. So I need to put that, I started that one on the 31st, and we can go ahead and say that one's good. So now if we look back through my actual technical whips that I have, we have 1, we have 2, we have 3, and then we have 4. So I actually have 4 whips. So I'm ending the month with, well, technically it's like 4 total whips. This one's going to be a mini one. So, which really I should make that as a 3/1. So 3 canvases and 1 mini set for this. And let's see. I don't know what I was doing as far as why that was my starting tally, but then what was I going to have for this number? Oh, it's like, okay, how many canvases did I actually start this month, or start in the month of January? So I think that's what I wanted to do. So technically, actually, let's go ahead and clear all of those, and we're just going to go with started after January 1st. So what did I start after January 1st? I actually I started 1, 2, 3, 4 canvases and 2 minis is what I started after as of January 1st. So I think that's what I wanted to do. So I started 4 with 2 minis. I completed 6 canvases, which means I had 2 whips that were carried over and 1 of the mini sets. And my whips I currently have are 3 whips and 1 of the minis, which does include some of those right there. Some of them are ones that I did end up finishing actually. So I think that's how I'm going to log that. Now we have to look and see how many rounds and squares of my 6 canvases that I had. What was the ratio of rounds versus squares? So Year of the Snake, that's going to be 1 round. And then we've got, that one is square, square. So we're at 2 squares, 3 squares, round, and 4 squares. So I have 2 rounds and 4 squares. Just how it worked out this month. And then we're going to look at purchases. So which is going to include even things. We're going to say anything that I received. Come on. Okay. So anything I received after January 1st, which technically I have received, which this month I've received 3 canvases. I kind of am curious. I want to say, okay, well, how many? Well, I'm going to go off of actual purchases this month because I did not purchase all of those. So not just, we're going to say ordered after January 1st. What did I order after January 1st? Technically, it's essentially I purchased 1 canvas myself, but then I had 2 that are being gifted to me. So in that, we're going to take a look at it and you can see. So I purchased the Yumeko from Margaret Morales. And I had this Les Fulanes from Sybil Art. That one was gifted to me. And then this one is this Yume is being gifted to me as well. So technically, like, yes, I'll have 3 canvases that I'll have gotten this month, but I only technically purchased 1 of them. So we're going to put purchased 1, and then I'm going to put here 2 gifts. So because it's something that's going to go into the total overall hoard size of everything, but I don't count it until it's technically in my hands, which one of those is not actually in my hands. So now we're going to look at what our ending numbers are for canvases that I have actually physically in my hoard. This is one not received. So we have to change, I have to change my gems flow. I know this is like totally confusing probably to everybody how I'm doing this, but it is what it is. So now I'm going to go with my, because my started category, which is, what, 16? 4, 5, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are my started, so I have to count how many of these I have for the small side. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me grab a sticky note. Not a sticky note, piece of paper. All right, so my started, because these are ones that are kitted up. So let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then we have 2 of them that are mini kits, so I count those separately. And these 2 don't count because they're cross-stitch conversions. So now I need to come up here and count how many of these, which I prefer, I prefer this viewpoint right here. This is how I like to look at things. So I'm going to count my my breakdown on here to get our total number. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I think I have to go to the M's because we're at 10. I just want to make sure that the numbers are accurate. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So now we are at 23 of these as being mini. So 409 minus the 23 gives us how many canvases we are actually at for that number. So let me go ahead and get my calculator. Nope, that's a clock. So we're at 386 plus the 14 whips, which really means that we are at 425 is basically what we are in. I'm like, how did that work, even though I ended up, I think I might have did I not have that accurate as far as how many of these numbers I had to start off with? Because I've completed 1. I think that should have been 426 because I have completed 1 mini. So my ending number is 400 and I was like, why? I think I wasn't thinking when I wrote those numbers initially. So in reality, this should be that my starting number was 430. That's what my starting number should have been, which included 404 canvases and 26 mini sets. And if you count that, I completed 6 in ones. Now we subtract our 6 from there. That takes us to 398. And then our 25. But then I also have my purchases / my gifts, and I'm not counting it if it hasn't arrived yet. So that means that I can add 2 to that 398, which takes me back up to 425. Now, which gets me to this ending number right here. So I just had to math it a little bit because I was like, this is not working and not making sense in my head. So because this number is going to include all of my in my hoard plus my I should basically just say like 1 gift and we're going to cross that off for that. And kind of go over, this is what I purchased this month. But then also, as kits come in, that number is also going to go up too. So you can see, well, January may have been a little rough. We're going to see how it looks. And if it's better in February, because that was like, I don't know how I mathed that so horribly. And what I was confusing myself with, because I don't know how the number that I wrote a couple weeks ago is exactly the same as my number that I have right here. Unless I was counting it as once you're in the WIP category, then it doesn't count, but I only technically have 3 canvases that are WIPs, so it's not like that should be a big number. Anyways, so now we're going to say as of February 1st, we are starting with a total of 400 canvases and 25 mini sets. That's my starting number with a total of 425. My goal is to get this number right here of 400. My goal is to get that number below 350. That's going to be my first goal, is get that number below the 350, which will be doable for me to finish that many kits as long as nothing happens this year. But that's my main goal, is to get down below. So that kind of says, okay, these are my rounds. These are my square completions that I did this month. And then we're going to say, okay, this is what I purchased, or we're going to say purchased or received. I think I like that better to make it easier. So my starting numbers, and this is going to be how many I start in February. So any kits that I started in February. I think we're going to go off of that. So this one was kind of like the month where we figure out what we're doing. And then in February, it'll, I think, go a little smoother, because we'll be like, okay, this is what it actually is. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense for you guys, and I've not just like rambled for an hour about nonsense of everything as we look at this. So basically, we have, when we look at the goals and everything, we have my goals that I went over. We have the finishes for January, and then we have, I made progress on my scavenger hunt kits. No progress on the Desert Island tag, but that's fine. These are 2 different things. And then I have not completed any of these, but I did actually kit up, I think, 4 canvases from here, which will be good, because this is some of the kits that I really want to finish this year fall underneath this category from the Refresh My Stash. So that'll be probably about potentially half of my finishes for the year would be 2023 canvases. And then we have the Alphabet Challenge, which we knocked some out on that already. And then January, so you can see I actually did do pretty well, because my January numbers ended up lower than at the end of January than they did at the beginning, even though I don't believe this is fully accurate. My overall number has definitely improved. So that's 425 for the total big number. Because I did complete and finish more than what I purchased and received. So that's something that's definitely good to see. But now I'm going to have it as purchased or received. So because I did actually get 3 canvases in this month, because before they are in my hand, I don't count them as part of my hoard. So that's kind of what this is categorically wise. So yes, anywho, confusing as all get out. We're going to like ignore this starting number because I don't believe it's fully accurate because I didn't write it down properly. But I started 4 canvases and 2 mini sets, completed 6 canvases, 1 mini set, and I now have 3 WIPs of canvases in 1 mini set that I'm starting off the month with. And we will see how many kits I make it through as far as starts, finishes, and what I end with as far as how many WIPs I have at the end of February when we roll into there. And then this will be where I mark how many rounds versus squares I complete for the canvases, and then how many my starting number, I have that written down. So we're going to see what this number will look like at the end. And the goal is that this number keeps going down and does not go up. So we did succeed for January. This number did go down in January. From January to February, I did have this overall number go down, which makes me very happy. So it's because I'm not doing like a full-blown hardcore no buy. But what I am doing is being very conscientious about what I purchase, and I have those strict guidelines of what I'm allowing myself to purchase canvas-wise and kit-wise. So as you can see, I only purchased 1 canvas myself, but it would have been 2 because the Yume that I'm waiting on, that will be mine in a couple months once I get to, I'm picking it up at the retreat. And then we have the completions. Okay. This was a lot. Anywho, that is going to be the logbook and how I'm going to do it. Definitely took a whole lot longer than you guys probably cared about to go through it, but you get to hear me ramble and complicate myself and confuse myself on things, and that's all. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.